Hey guys! Hello, hello. It is Tuesday night. Welcome, welcome. We are getting ready to do our first official August workshop on growing self-confidence. Now, of course, we have already done one. We did one workshop that was our intention setting, but this is going to be the first really learning one. Because we're going to start out, if you have your oils, if you have your Envision Oil, grab that. Also, if you have your crystal for setting your intentions, grab that too, okay? Okay, Ida. So Ida grabbed her notebook and she's got her why. My why, I am creating, IMD creates to assist women in the embracing of the uniqueness within themselves. Embracing uniqueness, okay? And I love the term embracing, because as we're going to talk about, almost always your why has to do with something that is very personal to you. And for me, it is finding wellness, purpose, and fulfillment, because those were things that were lacking in my own life, and I finally got fed up. And I decided I'm going to find them for myself, and I'm going to help other people get there, right? So it came from a lack that I had of not having the things that I wanted in life, and just deciding, you know, nobody is going to change my life but me. So Ida, I know we've had a lot of discussion about yours is about uniqueness, because that's something that you're striving to embrace in your own life, right? And we talked about this a ton, but that really, as you're finding your why, you are having to embrace things about yourself, learn things about yourself, utilize things about yourself that you had not, that you wouldn't do otherwise, right? There are things in life that you want for yourself, but you've been setting them aside because making money was more important, taking care of the kids was more important, taking care of a spouse was more important, parents was more important, you know, just showing up to work was more important. But when you build a business, or when you build your life around your why, then you and what you can give to the world become the most important thing, right? And so tonight what we're going to be talking about is inhabiting your future vision. That means not just what is my, you know, abundance. We talked a lot about overcoming fear by recognizing what you have in your life currently, but that we're actually going to get so sure about what we want in the future, what we have to give in the future, that we're going to draw it into the present with us, okay? So y'all give me some thumbs up if y'all are ready to go on that, and we will get started. If everybody has an oil, I know, like Laura, you're using some oils that you already had, and Dawn, I know you're waiting on your oils to come, but everybody grab an oil for me, okay? Excellent, we're all ready. So grab an oil, and Dawn, I'm going to read yours real quick. SPF sprouts exist to nurture imagination, innocence, and wonder in children, past and present. Great. Hey Kathy, thanks for joining us. So basically, Dawn and I had a call this morning where we talked about this, where it basically is not what do you think you can get done, what do you think is practical, what do you think is possible for you, but what do you believe in more than anything else, and we will figure out a way to make that happen for you, okay? So glad you're here, Kathy, glad to have you. Cynthia, honoring the planet through earth-friendly creativity. I love that, earth-friendly creativity. So creativity, we think about obviously taking something that doesn't exist and bringing it into the world, right? But there are lots of forms of things that humans create that are not earth-friendly, and I know that you go to all the way to that whole extent, and you do use recycling and other methods like that are actually making the world a better place, and that's really important to you, right? Leaving the world better than you found it. So I'm so glad that we all have sentences. I feel like I've been harping at you guys, and I've said how important it is over and over and over again, and it's taken us about a month to really solidify everybody's why. But I'm really glad that y'all are embracing this and starting to understand it. So hopefully you have your manifestation. Well, not manifestation. Your affirmation in front of you guys. Okay. If you have your affirmation printed, downloaded, great. I'm going to say it to you in just a second, but if you have it handy, if you don't have the copy that you could download, let me know, because I will email that to you, okay? First thing, before we get started, before we really delve into this, we're going to do the affirmation, okay? We're going to do the affirmation, and then I'm going to explain it to you. So, our affirmation is, and I want everyone, grab your oil. Generally what we would do with an oil is we would put it in our hand, right? 1 drop. Rub it around a little bit. Breathe it in. I want someone to tell me what part of the brain this is going to affect. What part of the brain is this going to affect? Hopefully you're typing this as I say it, but the limbic system, right, which is the emotion center of the brain. We're also going to talk about another part of the brain that this affects. But you're going to breathe that in, and now we're going to say our affirmation together, okay? So the affirmation starts out, limbic, thank you, Don, the limbic system. I release all resistance to growth, which no longer serves me in a positive and productive manner. I release all resistance to growth, which no longer serves me in a positive and productive manner. All right? The second part of that is key, which no longer serves me in a positive and productive manner. We're not saying that resistance to growth is always terrible. We're not putting a negative spin on this. What we're saying is there was a time in my life where I needed to buckle down and I needed to just get it done. But I'm not in that time in my life anymore. I am at a time where I am ready for growth. And I am ready for a challenge, and I am ready to accept that the space that I took up in the world was this, and the space that I can now take up is going to grow and grow and grow. Does that make sense? I'm seeing some hearts, so I think you're with me. So, I release all resistance to growth, which no longer serves me in a positive and productive manner. We're going to say that 2 more times, everyone with me. And I like to put a hand on my heart and a hand on my forehead. You're connecting your brain to your heart here, okay? I release all resistance to growth, which no longer serves me in a positive and productive manner. I release all resistance to growth, which no longer serves me in a positive and productive manner. I release all resistance to growth, which no longer serves me in a positive and productive manner. All right? So we got that. Our next part is I choose, I believe, and I manifest. All right? I choose to find and help those who need my products. And this of course is geared towards those of us who are creative entrepreneurs, but really it's whatever you have to offer. So if you have a service, if you have a talent, it can be that anything, but we'll go with products because that fits the most of us, okay? So we're going to do the 3 I choose. I choose to find and help those who need my products. I choose to find and help those who need my products. I choose to find and help those who need my products. Now I believe. I believe I can find and help those who need my products. I believe I can find and help those who need my products. I believe I can find and help those who need my products. And then manifest. I manifest finding and helping those who need my products. I manifest finding and helping those who need my products. I manifest finding and helping those who need my products. All right. Hey Sharon. Hey Stephanie. Thanks for joining me. If you just jumped on, obviously I am doing my affirmations. We're all doing the affirmations for this first week, which is our week of envisioning. If you are just joining me, click through the video so that you'll see everything that's going on. I can see your comments. So, okay, why is this such an important one? Why is this so important? Why are we starting with finding and helping those who need our products and resistance to growth? The reason is because the who and the what you're going to give them is way more important than the finding of them. We will find them. You can find them. I can help you find them. We will find them. We will attract them. We will sell them your things, okay? But you have to be super clear on what it is that the problem in the world that you want to fix and how you are uniquely suited for that. And once we are there, you can grow as big as you need to grow. You can learn the skills that you need to learn. You can add things to your life, whatever you need to do to find and attract those people. But you got to be firm on your why, or else we're not going to get anywhere. All right? So, hey Nicole, thanks for joining us. So, anyone have questions about that affirmation, on why I chose that for us to use for this first week, on the importance of the why? We're going to get into, this is our moment to live in our why, okay? To embrace it And that is going to help us be so certain about the future that we're headed to that we start to pull it into the present with us, all right? So we talked a lot about abundance. And abundance, people usually associate that with wealth, with success, with things like that. What it really is having more than you need of something, right? And the only way to know that you have abundance is to know what it is. So we are getting super clear right now on what does your success look like. Success based on knowing how you can help people and the hole that you fill in their life, okay? The problem that is really important to you. We had the 3 questions, right? What is unique about you? What is a problem facing the world today that you feel passionately about? And what do you want your legacy to be? And that's how we're finding our why, right? So once you understand that, then you measure your abundance based on how close you're getting to reaching that goal. We're not talking about money. We're not talking about possessions. We are talking about wellness, purpose, and fulfillment, right? We are talking about discovering what is important to you, what you want to give to the world, and then fulfilling that strong desire. Everybody with me on this? Basically, the reason, I want to talk about the oil real quick, okay? The reason that I chose the Envision Oil, besides the catchy name, the reason for the Envision Oil is that it is a blend of bright, happy, uplifting oils. The oils in here, I think I have to peel it back to see. Oh no, I wrote it down. Hold on, one sec. The oils in this beautiful blend are spruce for height and uprightness, sage for cleansing, lavender for calming, orange for joy and giving, which goes back to that abundance, geranium for your heart, knowing what you love and what you don't love, and rose, which is like a feminine, nurturing sort of love, okay? So the things that this oil does is it encourages renewed faith in the future, enhances creativity and resourcefulness, which we're going to need as we grow, right? Awakens and renews that inner drive, that's what I'm talking about, that purpose, and helps you see yourself as a bigger version of you. So I want to talk about that one for a second. Once you realize where you need to get to in order to fulfill your purpose in life, right? So for me to help others find wellness, purpose, and fulfillment, they have to know I'm here, right? I have to find a way for people to care that Erin Holland exists in Brooklyn in this studio. And that can be a terrifying thing. You want to have a business, you want to have a purpose, but you're afraid to put yourself out there. You're afraid to say, this is me, unashamedly, this is me. This is what I have to offer. Now, love me or don't love me. And if you have a business that is driven by your passion, it can be very scary because if people, Laura, it is the Envision Oil, in this little purple bottle, Envision. If you have a business based on your passion, then you will be putting out there to the world something you feel incredibly, incredibly deeply in your soul. And if they don't like it, that's going to hurt a lot worse than having a business that you don't really care that much about the problem. So some people have a business where they make something and they're not their target market. They make it, they make money off of it. They know there's a problem. They're happy to help people fix that problem. But it's not a problem that they identify with. And that's not the way that I am, and I've discovered that there are so many people who are also like me who have to believe in what you do or else it's just not going to happen. That's where your energy comes from, that's where your stamina comes from, that's where your ability to jump over obstacles comes from, that's where your ability to stay up till 4 o'clock in the morning and get up at 7 o'clock in the morning. That comes from that deep passion, but that means that you're putting out there into the world something that is tender, delicate, vulnerable, and that is why we talked about fear first. So everybody give me some thumbs up if you're with me on this, that I'm asking you to do something that is going to cause you to be vulnerable, to have to look at yourself, to have to put yourself into your work, but I firmly believe that that is the way to find purpose and fulfillment, is to invest your whole soul into your work. All right? So once you see, this is where I need to get to, you're going to have to relinquish your fear of changing and growing to be that person. You're going to have to let go of things like my belief that I have had in the past that I am not organized. So I have a story about this. Oh, hi, Mom. My mom just jumped on. This is funny. So I have a story about this. So my parents went to a parent-teacher conference when I was, I think, in the first grade, and she's welcome to tell me if I'm wrong, but went to a parent-teacher conference, and the teacher told my parents, Erin is incredibly smart, she's a lovely, wonderful person, but she's horribly disorganized. Her desk it's just a wreck. And so my parents open up the lid of this desk, and they see it's a total mess. And so I remember being told this story over and over again, and they think, you know, it's a funny thing about Erin that she's really smart, but she's disorganized. However, as a business owner, it no longer serves me in a positive and productive manner to be disorganized, right? So I am having to let go of a fear that I won't be able to be organized. I'm having to embrace the fact that I need to grow outside of my normal bounds and embrace organization. I don't know if that resonates for anyone else, but I imagine that it does. There are others of you who have poor time management, is something that you struggle with, who might struggle with organization, who might struggle with communication, writing, might struggle with being on a live video, writing copy, taking photographs, all of those things that you struggle with, okay? You can get somebody to help you with that, and I definitely believe that you should, and you should have somebody help you learn how to do this, right? So Sharon, who's on the call, is a fantastic copywriter, and if you can afford to have her do your copy, that's fantastic, but she needs to know where your heart is in order to help you, right? She needs to know what you're trying to sell and why you're trying to sell it and who you're trying to sell it to, because she's not a magician. She is a beautiful writer, but it's not her job to do your job for you. So you got to do all of that stuff first, right? So let me see what you said, Sharon. Whenever I come across something scary or different or new, I force myself to fill in the blank. This is good because blank. It helps me keep in high frequency. Yeah, so Kyle Cease says that you should say, you know, I have to learn to be organized, and I love that, right? I like to say that fear is the door that's saying this is incredibly important. I'm afraid of being disorganized. I'm afraid I can't do it, that I can't be organized. And that's a door that is saying to me, Erin, if you want to get to the other side of what's on this door, you're going to have to walk through it. You're going to have to walk through accepting that this is not something I'm great at, but I'm going to learn to be great at it. So that was a bit of a soapbox that's not in my notes, but I hope that that makes sense to you guys. Give me some thumbs up if you're with me on that, that you are envisioning yourself as taking up more space than you currently do, and that you are accepting the growth pains and the excitement and the fear that goes along with going from here out to here, all right? Another thing about this oil that I want to talk about, I'm going to talk about the third eye chakra. Some of y'all love this, and some of y'all don't get it, and some of y'all don't want to get it. But the third eye chakra, which is associated with this oil, okay? This oil, which is absolutely delightful, and smells kind of like that, like super clean natural soap, actually. It's got a very, very clean, I think that's the sage. But the oils in here are associated with the third eye chakra, and the reason for that is that they stimulate the pineal gland. So here's my metaphysical scientific thing I'm going to throw at you guys. The third eye chakra is associated with right here, right between your eyes and slightly above. And for centuries, they've talked about that as an important part of wellness, okay? Mind, body, spirit wellness. Well, they now, the medical profession has decided that what they are talking about when they say third eye chakra is the pineal gland, okay? So the pineal gland, which is basically, we talk about the limbic system, right? Which is actually like a horseshoe shaped, not horseshoe, what do you call that? The little fish that looks like a horse. Anyway, it's shaped like this in your brain. Right at the base of that is the pineal gland, okay? So when you breathe in, these oils they hit the limbic system, but they also hit, which is the like thalamus, hypothalamus, but they also hit the pineal gland, which is right there. And this oil is purposely made with oils that will stimulate that. Seahorse. Thank you, Sharon. Seahorse. It's shaped like a seahorse. So what does the pineal gland do? It regulates your sleep-wake cycle, right? Circadian rhythms. And it also helps you to produce melatonin, which is that like lovely, calm feeling before you go to sleep, right? And then it also is responsible for our reproductive hormones. So sleeping and reproducing, super key things. But it also, from a metaphysical standpoint, is associated with vision, intuition, clairvoyance, clairaudience, illumination, wisdom, insight, motivates, inspiration, and creativity. All right? So all of the things that we're doing with this oil are about motivating your creativity, looking at this from a different perspective, growing into what you can be. And so with this oil particularly, when it comes in the mail, rather than just breathing it in, you can actually, I'm going to take my glasses off, you can actually go right here, okay, and get that all across the third eye chakra. Third eye joins physical and spiritual worlds, intuition. Exactly, Laura, right? So what you're doing is you're taking the physical world that I'm in right now, and you're saying, this is where I could be, which gets you out of the physical realm into the spiritual realm, and then we're gonna get there. We're gonna bridge the gap. So that's exactly what that is, physical and spiritual world. Okay, so I talked about this a little bit already, right? About the fact that last month we talked about fear. We talked about one way to overcome fear is belief in future abundance. You have to understand what it means to have present abundance, to have more than you need, more love, more friends, more time, more peace, more all of those things that are not necessarily money, right? And then looking into the future and saying, this is what my future abundance looks like. This is the detail. This is exactly what I want to be doing. This is exactly why I want to be doing it. And now we're going to pull that into the present. So basically, this is the hard part, guys. This is the part that I can't do for you. You have to decide that you believe that you can do it. You have to decide that it may be hard. It may take time. You may have to learn new things. But you can be the person that you want to be. And in turn, your business can be the business you want to have. So y'all let me know if you agree with me on that, if you can do it. I want everybody to give me thumbs up. If you believe you can be the person that you want to be, you believe your business can be the business that you want to have, okay? And the reason that is possible is because you have already manifested it once in your mind. Everything in life, and this is a thing that I first read really well stated in 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, which is a great book. But he talks about the fact that everything is created twice, right? It's created first in the mind, and then it's created in the physical world. If you build a house, first you have to build plans, and then you build the house. So you have to build the house, and then you have to say, whatever it takes, I'm going to build this house because I have to have something to live in. That is how much you have to believe in what you want, that it's like building a house that if you don't build it, you are going to be homeless, okay? So that's how serious this is. The potential for everything that you need is already within you. You have that potential. You have an imagination. You have energy. You are, I assume, safe, fed, with people who love you. Or if you're not, you can lose those people and go find people who do love you, right? Been there, done that. You have what you need within yourself. You just have to grow it, okay? Now, here's how we're going to do this. I want y'all to, I had y'all write down your whys. If you haven't written your whys yet, I want you to write them down for me. Mine, as you know, is that I want to help others find wellness, purpose, and fulfillment, right? And my how is through my understanding of natural wellness through use of crystals and essential oils, right? So I'm very, very clear on that, but it's taken me a while, but I know several of you already had your very specific sentences, which is fantastic. So I know Laura shared hers, and I wanted to go back and find it. So Laura says, I want to help women spend more time in their creative genius, sharing their gifts with the world by supporting them with their content marketing related responsibilities, right? So Laura's why is she really believes in women, and she thinks that that is a part that is stopping them from getting their business where it needs to go. And she sees that she can help them get there by offering that service. So it's not just I create content. It's I believe in these women so much so that I will do whatever I need to do to help them create the content they need to grow their business, right? For Ida, it's not just I crochet and I love crocheting. It's this is my method, but what I want to do is help other women embrace their uniqueness, right? So it is something that goes beyond just the pedantics of what you do, but it's got to be big. It's got to be huge. It's got to be, I want all of the women to have great businesses, and I want to help them all. I want to help every single person find wellness, purpose, and fulfillment. You have to believe that if you called up Oprah, that there's a chance that she would have you on her show to talk about content marketing, crochet, wellness, purpose, and fulfillment, whatever it is, that your why is so big that it can get you to that sort of stage, okay? That is scary, that is terrifying, and it's hard to believe. And so here's what we're going to do. We are going to spend the next week doing I am statements. Who has done an I am statement before? I've been doing it all week. I've been telling myself, I am organized. I am organized. I am organized. Now, does that mean that suddenly I turned around and everything was exactly where it needed to go? No, but it meant that every day this week, I've spent a little time going through my paperwork, getting everything where I want it to be, and every day I've done a little bit of that work because I told myself when I woke up, I am organized, right? Rather than waking up and saying, oh, boy, it's a mess in here. I wish I was organized. Like, it just sucks that I'm just not an organized person. Those are the two opposites. So I want everyone to write down one I am. Just share one, and then we're actually going to go through a whole list. I want everyone to write down one I am statement that you need to embrace in order to grow to your full potential, but that is scary for you, okay? And I wrote down a giant list of all of mine, so I am not afraid to share mine, but I want you guys to share first. But I want everybody to write down one I am statement that you know needs to be true, but it scares you, okay? Ida, I am beautiful. Ida, you are beautiful. You are fantastic. Everybody tells you that, but I know that that's a major one for your why and a major one for you to overcome. That's fantastic. Mine is, I am a successful wellness coach. I am a successful wellness coach, right? That's the newest part of my business, but it is the one that makes me the most excited. I love doing that. I've done, a bunch of calls on helping people find their why, and nothing makes me more excited than sitting across from you guys on a video chat and with all of my notes, all my crazy notes that I take, all of your notes that you have, and putting our heads together and getting to the other side of that problem, right? I love it. However, as it's the newest part of my business, I have to do a lot of self-confidence so that when I get on that call, I'm giving you everything I have, no holds barred. I'm telling you everything I believe to be true, even if you might not like to hear it, even if I might be challenging you on something, even if it's not just stroking your ego, that I'm not pulling any punches because I believe in what I have to say, right? And so if I spend an entire week, an entire month saying, I am a successful business coach, I am a successful wellness coach, I am a successful creativity coach, then how much more likely am I to have the confidence that I need to do a fantastic job, right? Okay, Dawn, I am focused on doing what I love. I am focused on doing what I love. And we talked about that today, that it's not just doing what I'm good enough for, it's doing what I love, right? That is important, and you will get good enough to do it if you just focus on doing what you love. So I want everyone to take a few moments I can't hear you, so say all of the things that you're afraid to say. I won't say a bunch of mine. I'll just read through them because that would be weird if I'm talking over you. But I'm going to give everybody about 30 seconds, and I want y'all to sit there, close your eyes, hand on head, hand on heart, breathe in some more oil if you need some more oil, and I want you to say all of the I am statements that you don't want anybody to hear you say because you're afraid they're not true, or you're afraid they'll judge you, or you're afraid that they'll say, of course you are. What do you mean you don't think that, right? I want you to say all of them right now. And I'm going to read through mine. Give you 30 seconds. And if you feel like you want to share one, then go ahead and share that with us as well. But let me know, give me some thumbs up when y'all are done, when you've gotten through your list. So as y'all finish that, I'm going to tell you another one that I wrote down that's making me giggle. So I wrote 2 pages of these. So you can go crazy, right? All of the things you're afraid that you're not, but you know that you need to be. So I wrote, I am a great cook. Now, I have a fantastically wonderful boyfriend that does 99% of the chefing in our relationship because he's fantastic at it. He can take anything in the refrigerator. He can just make it amazing, right? I have lived in tiny apartments. In my past relationship, it was not like eat out all the time. It wasn't really something that was appreciated, so I didn't do it that often. And I worked, 55, 60 hours a week, so I didn't do it. I mean, of course I can cook, but I didn't do it. But I want to be a stay-at-home person. I want to work from home, and I know that I need to give things to my home life that I am not used to giving. I need to give cleanliness. I need to give organization. I need to give washing dishes. I need to give cleaning. That is an area of growth for me, to do those house things, especially because I'm here all the time making a mess, right? So today I defrosted some beef. I thought about it at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, amazingly, put it out, defrosted some beef, and took like hot chilies, tomatoes, red onions, the beef, and then a whole bunch of Cajun spices and garlic and all that stuff, made some quinoa, we had salad from last night, and I made dinner. And it was delicious. It was super spicy, which is my favorite thing, but it was lovely. But why did I do that? Because I had been telling myself, through these I am statements, I'm a great cook. And so getting into the kitchen is a step less scary when I've told myself over and over and over again that I can do it, right? Does that make sense? So it could be something as basic as that. It could be, I'm great at doing laundry. I'm great at paying bills. I'm great at cleaning out the car. It doesn't have to be, we're not talking about business all the time, because what I'm telling you is that your entire life is your business, and your business is your entire life, right? If you're passionate about all of these things. So you have to grow in all of the ways. So don't be afraid of it. You just get to be a better person at the end of the day, right? So why do these I am statements work, okay? Who wants to know the science behind that? The science behind these I am statements, where I say I am organized, even though yesterday I would have told myself I wasn't. When you say I am a statement that you want to be but is not currently true of you, that's called cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance, which is where your brain goes, wait a minute, are you organized? Because all this is kind of a mess right here. Your brain literally goes, what? And that's cognitive dissonance. And your brain, its job is to make reality match what's in your head. So if you tell yourself, I am organized, your brain is going to do whatever it needs to do to get to the point where you are organized so that it can stop having that weird dissonance thing happening. It's trying to resolve the chord, right? If you're a music person, it's trying to get to consonance. It's trying to get to harmony, okay? And Laura, I am a loving mom who provides a strong foundation for my children. That's fantastic, right? So again, that's not necessarily a business thing, but it will be, because that is a giant part of your life and you want to help other women. And so feeling that you're able to do that, how much is that going to help you in your life? Even if you feel like you struggle to create a strong foundation, even if, Dawn, you feel like you struggle to focus on doing what you love and you end up doing what you think you ought to do, right? None of that matters, because your brain is going to say, I got to get to that. So are y'all with me on this? Your brain is like, I am organized. I do what I love. What? Okay, I'm going to make it happen because you said you wanted it, so we're going to make that happen. The opposite is true. If I say I am disorganized, my brain wants that to happen. If I say I'm organized, my brain wants that to happen. This is just science. This is not would-be nice ifs. This is not happy, this is not even metaphysics. This is just science. This is what they have found that the brain does, okay? So, the other way to make this be true, and the reason that I love crystals, is because when you set an intention in the morning, when I say to myself, I am organized, I create a firm foundation, I'm a great cook, I'm setting the tone for my entire day, and then I pick a crystal. Today I was feeling flighty, I was feeling like not centered, and so I got out my onyx to wear, right? So here, I still haven't got my beads, so I haven't made the necklaces, sadly, yet for the growing confidence necklaces, but I'll show y'all as soon as I get them in. But here's an example of one of the stones that'll be in there, this chrysocolla, this little cutie. Isn't it cute? Okay, that's kind of like turquoise, but like funkier. So the reason that I'm choosing these particularly, these 3 stones that I chose, are because they are representative of, and they have the energy of what you want. So chrysocolla is a heart, third eye, and throat chakra stone, okay? Heart, so passion, love, third eye for inspiration, and throat for communication. So what you're saying to yourself is, I want to have passion and inspiration for my life, and I want to be able to communicate to that to myself using my left brain. I want to take that inspiration and I want to digest it, and I want it to come out in language that I use for myself to get me to where I want to go, right? So it balances intellect and intuition. And that is super key, right? For those of you who are 50-50 left brain, right brain, you're pretty much good to go if you can learn to make them communicate. If you tend to be on one side or the other, tend to be more right or tend to be more left, then you can learn how to nudge your way over to the other side a little bit more to get that communication, or you can use one of these reminders. So, if you wear a chrysocolla every day and you say to yourself, I believe in my inspiration, I believe in my passion to get there, and I'm going to teach myself what I need to do to get there, right? Then every time during the day that you see yourself wearing that necklace, you're reminded of that intention that you have. So if you've said, I'm going to get myself to I am organized, every time you see your necklace, you're reminded, I'm going to get myself to I am organized. It is that constant reminder in the mirror, that constant reminder when you adjust it, that constant reminder when you're, making sure you look nice, that this is what's really important about life. Okay? I'm going to see what Laura said. I think the book, The Power of the Subconscious Mind, talks about this. I got to read the whole thing. The author uses the analogy of a captain in a ship, and when you, the captain, tell it where you want to go, your mind body just react by throwing coal on the fire and throttling the engines. Exactly, right? So your mind and your body's job is to get you to the place that you want to go. I mean, that's survival, right? You're saying, I am organized. That's key to me. That's going to make me feel like I'm comfortable and living well. All that your body is there to do is to get you to those goals, because you're making a positive thing be a life and death scenario. You're making being organized be as important as a life and death scenario, which is going to catapult you there, versus the opposite of fear that we talked about, where you're thinking everything in a negative way is like a fight or flight thing. You're actually saying, okay, in order for me to feel fulfilled, I want to get there. And then you let your body help you get there, rather than saying, I think I'm good. I think I'm just going to stay where I am, not make anyone mad at me, not put myself out there. I'm going to just be me. So you're basically giving yourself permission to be a better you. You're saying, I believe I can be. This might hurt a little bit. I might have to cook in order to be a great cook, but I am going to get there. So we have some minutes left. I want you guys to ask me questions about your why. I want to talk through this. I want you to ask me any questions you have about if you're not sure you believe me about any of this, if you're not sure that the I am thing is going to work for you, if you're not sure about your why, if you're not one of the people that already wrote it down, I am happy to help you figure that out right now. And I will also say that this is not, it's not just for business people, right? There are those of us that our purpose in life, it may not necessarily be to have the most successful business ever. You may be, you may have a stay-at-home, you may be a stay-at-home mom, you may have a job outside the home. You can get to where your business lines up, but there is plenty of room for you to use everything that I'm saying for the rest of your life as well, right? So for me to say, I want wellness, that became part of my business, but in the beginning, it was just like, I gotta get there. And so I used a lot of these techniques to get me there. The, positive affirmations, telling myself I am well, until I was well. Using the jewelry to remind me that if a customer was yelling at me, I would say, you are not more important than my health. You are not more important than my health, right? So this is applicable to every single solitary part of life. Ida, what is a good way to remember and repeat the I am statements? I am so glad you asked that, Ida. So, I sent y'all a copy of the affirmations, right, after last week's workshop. But if you didn't get that, let me know. So this week, because I thought that was so fun, I printed mine out. I used it all week. I am going to send everybody who is on the email list, I'm going to send you a copy of a printout of the I am statement, okay? So y'all have seen the ones that I use like in the Creativity Club as just blurbs, but I created a PDF and it's got a spot for you to write out your I am statement. So you can actually take that, take a giant one, and if for you there's one big thing you want to work on this week, like I am organized or whatever it may be, then you can just write that in. Or if you want to set it up where you print out a bunch or make like little small ones, right, and print them out and then take them with you like little cards, then you could just sit there. If you're on the subway or you're in the car at a, at a stoplight or whatever, and you could just literally, you could just go through, I am beautiful, I am successful, I am talented, I am forgiving, I am a teacher, I am fun, like whatever your thing is, you could sit there and you could use them like cards. Or you could, like I said, you could have plastered on your wall that big one. So I hope that answers your question, Ida. Obviously your main one, it should be so close to you that you don't need to remember it, that it's just always present, and that's really what the jewelry is for. But if you want to get into a positive I am mindset, then I would print out a bunch of those and use them. Cynthia, so I can do an I am healthy, and what is a good stone for that? Okay, so two things. So the way that I'm choosing the stones, the crystals for this, are based on the fact that we're living in self-confidence. So there's a self-confidence element to everything really, and this is about envisioning where I want to be and getting there. So you can use this stone for health. You could say every day I'm going to say I am healthy. I have energy. I feel good. For me it's like I have great digestion, right? My thyroid is happy. All of those things. You could use this to help you envision that positive future and get to it. So crystals work in a bunch of different ways, and this is the way you would use a chrysocolla for that. Also, I love chrysocolla because it is a throat chakra stone, so it is great for thyroid anyway. So I actually used aquamarine, which, well, here's my tree with all my jewelry, but that's my aquamarine. That was the first one that I wrapped, and then my rose quartz, my second one, and I wrapped those because aquamarine for patience, calm, and your thyroid for the throat area. And then the rose quartz for kind of like a peaceful, radiating love. And what I was trying to do was get to a place of calm, constant calm, so that, to be scientific about this, if you are stressed, your body, rather than taking T4 and changing it into T3, takes T4 and changes it into negative T3, which tells your body stop metabolizing and start storing fat and use up zero energy. And so stress was a huge part of my thyroid battle, my hypothyroid battle. And so using that stone to create peace was a metaphysical way of getting at the problem that wasn't being fixed from the medical standpoint, that the medication was just not working. So, Cynthia, we could talk about what does healthy mean to you. There's actually Mukate. Oh, I moved my bracelets. I have a Mukate bracelet that I wear sometimes, which is like youthful energy. You know, so if you're wanting to just feel better, that would be a good one. But in general, you would want to, what's the area you want to work on? You know, headaches, it might be a crown chakra or a third eye chakra stone. Heart, like blood pressure, might be in the heart chakra area. So we can go more into that in depth. And that honestly is a lot of why I like to do the custom crystals. When I do my jewelry, I like to do custom designs because I like to have conversations like Cynthia, like we would have, and say, all right, what's the deal? What do we need to do? Rather than you just sifting through my shop and trying to figure it out yourself. Physical healing abdomen. So abdomen in general would be the sacral chakra. So citrine would be a good one. Another nice one might be tiger's eye, which I think you have. I think we've talked about that because that is a sacral chakra and a root chakra, and is also great for focus and for carrying through. So if you have life changes that you need to make, if you need to make some different health choices, that can be a good one for that. But we could talk more in particular about, you know, your particular health things. Who else has a question? We have a few more minutes. Anyone have a question about what do I mean by inhabiting the vision of the future? Anyone lost when I talk about taking your future abundance and pulling it towards you, right? The way you pull it towards you is you say, I already have within me everything I need to get there. I just need to manifest it. I totally have the ability to learn how to organize. I totally have the ability to learn how to be in front of a camera. I have the ability to learn how to photograph. I have the ability to hire somebody to do those things if I would rather not learn them. I have this ability within me. Now I just got to get creative and figuring out how to do it, right? And if you are unsure about that, if you are unsure about the why still, like Dawn and I, we did a call today, and she was so close, right? So close that she could just taste it, but she wasn't quite there with her why. And we got her all the way there today, and I think in ways that were unexpected. And so if you just need the push, then go to the website, get a coaching call, and I will push you as hard as I need to get you there. So I am more than happy to do that for you guys. And it really, nothing makes me happier than like two minds are better than one sort of a scenario there. Laura, so Envision and Abundance are my recommended oils. Do we layer them together? So let me say this. For this month, and we're going to do an oil and a crystal. I'm basically, these workshops are inspired by those and the way that they're going to help you with self-confidence. And so next week is Believe. Should I leave them here? For this month, the oils that I'm recommending are Envision, Believe, okay, and Magnify Your Purpose. I know y'all can't really read these. And there's a particular reason for those. However, I love abundance so much, and I think it is so key for somebody who has a business and wants their business to grow, and someone who wants to recognize the abundance around them, that I use that every day. I'm actually diffusing it right now behind the screen. You can't see it, but I used that oil all last month and about a half a month before that, and so I've been using it for like almost 2.5 solid months. And the physical, mental, emotional, spiritual difference that I have seen in myself using that oil is like night and day. It helps you to open yourself up to the fact that you already have abundance. It also helps you, it also has geranium, which will help you know things you love and you don't love, and help you to avoid things that are not on your menu. Because I have a friend that says, if you need to move away from conflict, it helps you know, get away from that, and helps you go towards the things that you really want in your life. So I still use abundance every day, even though I'm using these 3 oils as well. So on your own journey, start where you feel most led to start. I was also talking to Dawn about this today, about the way that she chooses oils and the way that I choose them a lot, like for the rest of my life, for my thyroid, for, you know, for other health things, is going to my cabinet that has all the oils and really just grabbing the one that's speaking to me. And because I believe that you draw to yourself what you need, then that totally makes sense to me. But you can also do it from a scientific perspective of knowing what is it that I want to do, and so therefore what chemicals, what properties of the oils am I looking for. But in your case, I love abundance. You've already got it, so for sure use that, and we can talk more about, you can go back to some of the videos from last month as well, because I talk a lot about it. But Envision is particularly helpful probably for you because you are in the planning phase of your business. And then as you get into the bringing it to fruition, that is where the believe and the magnify your purpose are going to become even more helpful. Any other questions? I hope that answered everybody that had a question. I hope I answered those well for you guys. Next week is going to be belief versus impatience. Y'all know I talk about this all the time. I am real about the fact that I have a tendency towards impatience that I am working through. I am becoming a more patient person daily, weekly, monthly. But it is very, very easy to say, I believe it. I found my why. Erin, help me find my why. I am there. I'm putting it all out there. And a week later, you're like, it didn't work. So now I got to go find another why. Right? No. I'm not saying it's not going to be hard. I'm not saying you're not going to have obstacles. I'm not saying that there's not going to be growing pains. So we're going to talk next week about how to hang on to your belief and not just let it go at the first sign of trouble, right? How to understand when you're being impatient versus when you are just realizing that you have a problem, okay? So it may be that you need to pivot, but it also may be that you just have impatience, all right? Hey, Martia, I think you're on the other page. Click through and I can see your comments. Anybody else have questions? I'm going to sign off in a second. Y'all know I'm always around for like 30 minutes afterwards if you have something you don't want to share with the room, but you would like to share with me. I'm there for you guys. We can talk about really anything. We can talk about this in particular. We can talk about your why. We can talk about more about the crystals and oils. Whatever you want to chat about, I'm available for 30 minutes. So thank you guys so much for joining me. I am just so excited. So excited about this month. I felt great about last month, but I really feel like we're all, that was more like a figuring out what you don't know, and now we're learning it, right? Now we're actually getting to the point where we're feeling more secure in it. So I'm just super excited about the confidence that we are all going to have at the end of this month that is not arrogance, but is confidence based on our ability to help the world. So love you guys. You're wonderful. I couldn't ask for better people to be spending this hour with, and thank you so much, and I will see you guys next week. I'm going to email you out the I am statement, so look for that in like the next literally 30 minutes, and then I will see you guys in the Creativity Club for the rest of the week. So thank you, love you, and have a fantastic evening. All right, guys? I'll talk to y'all later. Bye!